So we're going to use the rubric that we created previously to give feedback on this piece of work. This is one of the worksheets I've created, and I have purposely put in some very short and sparse answers into this, and I have put in full answers in other places. Brisk has 4 different methods of feedback, and we look at each one of these. The reason I use feedback rather than giving a mark is I want to help students to improve the quality of their answers. And I just feel by giving them feedback, can see what they need to improve rather than just giving them a mark. I use this especially in portfolio work. I teach Leaving Cert Construction Studies, and I have created a rubric to give feedback on their portfolio work. And in fairness, at the start, the students were saying, "Sir, what's this?" And when I explained what it was and how it was to help them, in fairness, they have bought into it. They will go and update their portfolio based on the feedback I've given them, and will ask me, is that okay then? So it's just a quick way of doing it. It works because their portfolios are online. It's done as part of Google Classroom. So in this, we're going to look how are we going to do it with this. And we look at the 4 different methods that Brisk uses. So we go to the Brisk icon, we select give feedback. Now, I'm going to start with the targeted feedback. This only works with the paid or the trial version. If you're running on a free version, it won't work. It does appear there. It will start putting up the comments, but the comments will be all blurred out and you won't be able to see them. This is very similar to any of you that are familiar with giving comments on Google Docs. It's like it's the comment feature basically, but it's being done by Brisk for you using your rubric. Now, you can edit these comments. You don't have to click accept them for what they are. You can go through them. The reason I use it is it gives me a good start, and it gives me a standard as opposed to what did I say in the last one. So that's why I use it. So I'll click this one. And my prompt is use the rubric to give feedback on the student's answers to each of the questions. I have attached my rubric, right, which has to be in PDF format for the likes of this. And I very simply then just click Brisket and it goes to work. And it starts working and it starts highlighting words, and then it starts giving feedback. And it'll go through the document and pick up points. Now, caveat is you will have to proofread this and you will have to make sure that it picks up everything. To find out what comment relates to any one of these, you just click on it. So this one relates to this. I can click into this, I can add to it, I can delete parts of it if I wish, and when I'm happy then with what it says, I just very simply click comment, and it goes like that. And you go through the whole document like that, reading that. So what will the student see? When the student gets their work back, they will see comments like this down the side of the page. They will see highlighted text. When they click on the highlighted text, that comment will come up for that, so they can see what the feedback is and what they have to do. So that's just the way of doing targeted feedback, very similar to using comments on Google Docs. Now we'll look at another form of feedback that Brisk can give. So we go to Brisk, give feedback, and we're going to use the rubric criteria. Each one of these 3 will work with the free version. They will also work with Google Slides. This one only works with Google Docs. It will not work with a Google Slide. I'm going to go rubric criteria for this one. I give it the prompt. I have my rubric loaded up. So like if you were going through your Google class, once you set it up for the first one, as you go through your class, this is here for you. You don't have to keep putting it in all the time. So I click Brisket, and now you notice straight away there's difference here. It starts at the side here. So it is given feedback based on all the headings. Now, of course, I would at the same time be reading the students' answers as well. That goes without saying. And it's given feedback. Again, I can click into it, I can edit it, I can add to it. And basically to put it in then, it always goes at the very start of the document. You just click insert and it goes in as a table form and the students receive it like that. The next method of feedback we're going to look at is called glow and grow. It's a bit like 2 stars of the wish. And personally, I like to use this with junior cycle students when they're doing worksheets, as it gives them confidence with the glow. It explains the grow, what they might do, and then there's a part called wondering, and it sets them thinking about other things. So to do it, very simply, Brisk, give feedback, and this time we're going to go to glow and grow. Again, I'm still using the rubric because it needs a standard to work from. So I click Brisket, and it starts off similar to the previous one. And again, as I say, you would take it for granted I would have read the answers to the questions and checked them against the feedback. It gives the glow part. Again, you can click in and to edit that. It gives the grow, examples of how they might improve, and then wondering, just creating questions that would actually get students to think. So I click insert, and that goes to the start of the document. Now, I suppose the one piece of advice I would give is you have to show the students initially what to do with the feedback, how it is there for their use, and how it is there to help them improve. But once they get used to it, then it will become second place. Now, lastly, we're going to look at the next steps. Next steps basically just advises what to do next. So you pick it, select Brisk, and again, it will give advice or feedback on under each of the headings that were in the rubric. And again, you can go and edit those, you can add to them, you can delete things that you don't want. But as I say, next step is what would you do next? And again, once you've edited, you just click insert and it goes in there at the start of the document in tabular form. And that's the way of doing feedback. So one lovely feature of Brisk is after you give feedback to a class, it gives you feedback on the feedback. So basically it points out areas of strength and things that they may need to improve. So where do you find it? Click the Brisk icon and you go to this icon here. Select that. Here's one that I did recently with my second year wood technology class. We were looking at adhesives and they had a little worksheet with a number of questions on it, and it has given me feedback. So it's based on 10 assignments that I have given feedback on, and we used the grow and glow. So it's given me feedback based on that and on the different parts of it and on the different questions. And that can be quite informative for me, so I can see what my students would need to improve on, etc. That is feedback using Brisk and the various forms. You can find one that will suit your own subject. I am not on here claiming to be an expert in giving feedback or claiming to be an expert in setting up rubrics or anything like that. I'm just here to share my experiences with teachers, and this has saved me a lot of time, and it's also improved the quality of some of my students' answers. Not all, but some of them have improved the quality of their answers by using the feedback they were given. So look, it's up to yourself what you want to do with it. But as I say, I've experimented with this, and so far, this is working for me.